Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. Life is truly what you make it. If you make it a landmine, then you'll have plenty of explosions. If you try to do your best, then it should go pretty well for you. Many people out there seem to go out of their way to make as many problems for themselves as possible. Now, when I lived, it wasn't an easy time. Christianity was still trying to decide what path it wanted to take. The Catholic Church, of which I was a huge member and proponent, actually controlled how people worshiped and what they thought of things. I wrote a lot about proving God. Now, here we are, 1,000 years later plus, and people are still writing about how they can prove God exists. That's that's humans for you. They just can't follow the rules. They can't follow the logic that people before them laid out. Many people don't care. They look in the mirror when they get up and they say, "Oh, what can I do to enjoy myself today? Who can I take advantage of? Or maybe who can I hurt?" Humans are a very, very strange species. When you're on the other side, you understand things much better than you do when you're living an incarnate life. That's the way it's supposed to be. You are not supposed to understand all of the things that take place in the galaxy, take place on other planets. It is difficult enough for you to simply understand what's maybe taking place in your own home. Maybe your children are hiding things from you that you don't understand or realize. Maybe they're doing drugs that you don't know about. Maybe they have friends that are telling them God doesn't exist. Maybe they have friends that are doing satanic things. Yes, it's Halloween. It's what you make of it. There's nothing inherently wrong with Halloween. Halloween is a good time for children if it's explained to them what's taking place. Many people need things to be explained to them, children especially. Children are not born with knowledge. Children learn. Children have to learn everything. They have to learn to speak. They have to go learn to go to the bathroom properly. Children come into this world with nothing. You, as an adult, will leave this world with nothing. Now, in between those years, you make many choices. You can help others, or you can simply help yourself. Helping yourself is bad, helping others is good. That's pretty simple. I wrote very complicated logic as to why God exists. What I didn't realize is you should be able to just look around you and understand why God exists. Look at the beauty and complexity of what is around you. Think about the simple hummingbird. You want to talk about a miracle. Here is a little bird. I mean, it's so small you can hardly see it. It travels thousands of miles in migration and returns to the exact same spot where it left. How does it do that? Many people can't find their local church with GPS, but that hummingbird can go thousands and thousands of miles and know exactly where it is. Do you know where you are in your life? Do you know where your soul is going to be when it returns? I hope so. Some do, but most don't. A person that doesn't believe in God is traveling a very troubled road. It is almost impossible for a person that doesn't believe in God not to fear death. Birth and death are the two inevitable things that come with an incarnate life. Your birth is an absolute miracle. You take two cells, combine them, and wind up with billions and billions of cells in a body. That body develops a brain, it develops a heart, and it develops, no, that's not the proper word. It is born with a soul. Your soul is with you from conception. That's a difficult concept to think about. How would two cells have a soul? Well, it's the spark of energy of God that is with you from the beginning. Many people look at a fetus in the womb and say, "Oh, that's not a baby. That's not alive yet. If I choose to, I can kill it. I don't want the responsibility that comes with being a parent." Well, you should have thought about that a little earlier. If you don't want to be a parent, take measures not to be. But once that child is conceived, you have a responsibility. The father has a responsibility to take care of that child, to lead it, to teach it, to show it what it needs to learn. The mother has a responsibility to bear the child and to be a good mother to it. The concept of being a good mother is throughout all species. Every parent has the ability to do the best for that child. Look at the wild animals. You call them wild, but they know that they have to take care of that baby. I wonder what a animal thinks of a mother that doesn't take of a human mother that doesn't take care of the baby. Maybe you take better care of your pets than you do of your own children. That's a terrible thing. The concept of the existence of God is something that has been humans since their inception. If you look back at early humans, they realized that something was special out there. Early humans in their development didn't understand truly what God was. But we say that about humans now. They don't understand what God is now with all their technologies. They use that technology to lead people away from God. How people can look at everything that is around them and not believe is impossible for me to comprehend. You see, I always knew there was God. I tried to prove it in any way that I could, but I always had the foundation of knowledge that God existed. The existence of God is the foundation upon which everything is built. Without God, there can be nothing built for the future. Without God, you can only live in the presence. Telling others about God is a basic responsibility if you truly understand his existence. You don't have to understand all the details about God. All you need to know is that he exists. In my time, that was a very difficult concept. But think about how difficult it was when Jesus walked the earth. No one had ever really spoken about God like he did. Maybe it's the fact that he was the first human that truly understood God. Well, that's because he was. He was God. But even though he knew everything about the existence of God, he had to word it properly. He had to tell the people in a very simple way of the existence of heaven and the existence of God. Jesus told his followers that if they lived a good life, they would join him in heaven. And he spoke of heaven. He described it in terms that they would remember, that they could understand. You see, he could never really explain heaven the way it really is because you don't know what it is until you return. And it's only after you return that you can comprehend the magnificence of the heaven that God created. I challenge anybody that's listening out there to describe how they think of God. Go to a quiet place of meditation and in your own mind, describe what God means to you. If you think of God as Santa Claus, that's going to do all that he wants you to do when you pray to him, then you don't understand him. God will give you guidance. He will use your guides to tell you information about decisions that you should be making. But he is not going to do everything to direct your life. You have to do that with your free will. If you don't believe in God, then you will not have his guidance. It's not that he's not there for you, but it's that you don't ask for it. If you ask for his guidance, then you will receive it. If you pray to him and let him know what's on your mind, then he understands and he can help give you the answers that you're looking for in your life. Believing in God is one of the most simple things you can ever do. I overcomplicated it. I felt that I had to prove everything. Today, you don't have to prove everything. Accept the work of those that have gone before you. Look around and understand the miracles of God. Once you understand the miracles of God, you'll find inner happiness. You'll understand that death is not something to be feared. And you will understand the true joy of helping others. Don't overcomplicate things. I did. I admit it. I thought that everything had to be proven, but it doesn't. That's why you have faith. Faith takes away the necessity of proof. You see, you're not supposed to be able to prove God exists. You need to understand it. You need to see his miracles. And you just simply have to have faith. That faith will be rewarded when you pass, and your soul truly will go into heaven, and then you will understand everything. All you need to understand now is that you need to live a good life. All the other things will come to you. They'll all come to you in time. So I thank you for listening to me this morning. It was nice to be able to speak again. It's been a long time. You see, we can influence from over here, but we have to speak through others. We can do it. We just have to find the person that will speak for us. Spread the words of God. Spread the words you hear here from Barry. Tell others that God exists, and tell them that his existence does not have to be proven, but that it just simply has to be believed, and that his simple teachings need to be followed. So thank you. I'm going to leave you now. Should you ever wish to hear from me again, I would be very happy to return and do so. God is blessing all of you that are listening, especially blesses all of you that pass on his words. Goodbye, and just simply have faith.